Hello, it's that time of year when you need to start thinking about ranunculus and anemone corms. These are my favourite spring flowers and they are so delicate and so beautiful. So let me show you what they look like. So these are come dehydrated, and this is a ranunculus corm, and it looks like a little octopus with its long legs, or like a bunch of bananas. And you can see it's very dehydrated. And this one is an anemone corm, and it looks a bit like a stone, and they can come in bigger and smaller sizes than this, and again they are dehydrated, so we need to rehydrate them. So I've got here my bowls of water, so I'm going to put them here, and I use a bit of tea tree oil in there because it is antibacterial and antifungal. And the things with ranunculus and anemone is they are really prone to rotting. So my advice would be not to soak them overnight. A lot of people say to soak them overnight, they were just going to rot and turn to mush. So I do mine just for 1 hour, and these guys will take up that much water in an hour that you don't actually need to water the soil at all until you pot them up. So I'm going to show you that process over the next few weeks. But for now, I'm going to soak all of my ranunculus in one bowl and all of my anemones in another bowl. I've got plenty, and I'll come back in an hour and show you what they look like. There is my lovely husband, who's doing a bit of strimming for me on the beds, so it's a bit noisy. So while he's doing the last mow of the year, you can see that these have plumped up really nicely. You can see there little fat tendrils. So if I put this one beside it, you can see how much it's hydrated by. So I'm just going to give this a little light water, just to make the soil damp. So I have my cell tray here, which I have half filled with soil. So with the ranunculus, you plant them with their toes pointing down, and this bit here, you can see that's where the stem of the flower came up. So the flower stem comes up this way and the roots come out this way. So you place them into your single trays like this, and then I cover them with soil. So the reason why I use an individual cell tray is one is to find out if they are viable, and two, in case they do rot, I don't want them affecting the other corms, because obviously they're quite expensive corms to get in the first place. Three, I made the big mistake one year of using a tray like this and just chucking them all in there to sprout them on, and the roots go everywhere, and I ended up having loads of ranunculus that were all placed next to each other and having to shred their roots, which is obviously quite damaging to the plant and weakens it. So that's why I use an individual tray. So I've covered these with some more soil to cover them up, but I've not watered the top of the soil. The bottom soil was watered just for the roots when they start coming out. And of course, like I said, the ranunculus have been given enough water from pre-sprouting them in that water for an hour will be enough water to see them through. So I'm not going to water the top, but what I am going to do is exclude light. It's really important to exclude light, so I'm going to use another tray to do that and get them all excluded from the light. Final job is just to put a dome over every single one of these. Why are you covering them? Well, I cover these because there are three things this time of the year that we are sowing which are like caviar to mice, and they will just eat their way through every single one of them. So it is anemones, ranunculus and sweet peas, which I'm going to be doing soon as well. So make sure you cover up your ranunculus and anemones because you don't want them eaten in the night. They are very expensive, and you don't want to lose them. So I'm going to leave these here now for a month, excluded from the light. I might check on them in about 2 weeks actually and see how they're doing, and if they are starting to put on growth, that's where I'm going to pop them up, and then I will put them somewhere else to grow on a bit further. So I will put those up into 9cm pots and just leave them, and probably sometime in the middle of winter I might plant them outside. I've made some mini tunnels which they're going to go outside into because they don't like the heat too much. And the last couple of years, spring, if you may not have known, has got a lot hotter. We've reached some really dizzying heights in springtime, and which is unusual, and that has actually killed off the ranunculus crop early. Like this year I lost all the ranunculus within 2 weeks of them actually flowering, because of the climate change has just changed and spring has now become quite hot. So I'm growing these outside now. Of course, I won't be putting them out into the garden until they're really nice, big, healthy plants, because again, they will be very prone to rotting off and mice attacks. Do you like this little dog that I've grown? So if you grow some ranunculus, I hope you do, they are so beautiful. And actually, once you know what you're doing, they're actually very easy to grow. Just make sure you don't leave them in water too long, and make sure you exclude the light and protect them from mice, and you should be on to a winner. And I'll see you again soon. Bye!